What's up, pal?
Hey, hey, hey. Well, happy to welcome everyone back here to the semifinals of the Dota Trash Destruction Tournament. The best of threes start now, and it should be an epic matchup. We've got Dignotoss. They're going to be going up against Osiris Gaming, and of course your hosts. I'm Helium, and with me is Vic Romand. I just did the intro, but I didn't unmute Skype, so...
The intro had me saying, "What's up, pal?" In it. Alright.
No. It was on the stream, you just didn't get to hear it, so... We're here, we're ready. We've got some picks, we've got some bans.
Yeah, let's talk about some Dota. EHUG eliminated by Dignotoss in the last round, the final best of one round of the tournament. And of course it's single elimination, so that's interesting. Dignotoss, pretty strong team, good players. So here they move on to the semifinals. This is the best of three against Osiris Gaming. And I don't know too much about Osiris Gaming. I know some of these players. I know Classic pretty well. But tell me a little bit about this team, I guess.
I mean, I don't know too much about it either, but I do know that Osiris, the one with the Ferrari Steam icon tagged up or named 2014 right now, is normally Osiris, so I guess it's his namesake team. He's a very quality player. I've seen him pop up on Dendy's stream and in matchmaking and some other things, so he's definitely a skilled player. Guanzo as well, I think he's from the California area, and he plays some lands out there. And Classic, I remember from NEL pretty substantially making those plays, and as for Pat and Wiley's, not too sure.
Yeah, I don't know Wiley's or Willie's or whatever he is at all, more or less. Just too bad, but pretty standard picks for them, at least. The Invoker, Doom, very high, very strong heroes. Doom, one of the best heroes to have, just for the power of his ultimate. Invoker, just a generally high-tier hero. As long as you have somebody who can execute at a high level with him, the hero is able to do a tremendous amount of work, especially in terms of draining people's mana with essentially no effort. Meanwhile, Dignotoss, a very early pick for Nature's Prophet, relatively, so we could see them being pretty aggressive about pushing, or we could see them being aggressive about a global style strat, although there's no Ancient Apparition, it's been banned out.
Yeah, it was actually banned out first, following that up by an Ember Spirit from Osiris. They follow suit, banning some more strong pushing heroes. They take out the Pugna, they take out the Luna. Interestingly enough, they're not too worried about a Lycan, as a lot of teams are. We see Dignotoss, they take out a Bat, a Nyx Assassin, they take out a Naga. They don't want to go into the late game because Naga always has the potential just to pull through with the win, and they take out a Weaver. Yeah,
it's the Weaver ban, interesting choice, certainly.
And there's Lycan.
Lycan, yeah. When Lycan gets through this far, you're usually gonna... Lycan's a good hero to... You can definitely pick up this hero up pretty early, just because you sort of bluff where he's going. The hero is perfectly capable of jungling if you give him sufficient protection and keep people from warding up the entire jungle. And the hero is perfectly capable of laning, so you can take him early and be like, where am I going to put him? You don't know. And the hero is extremely strong, requires a dedicated counter-pushing presence, tremendous single target control and killing to actually bring down. And slows won't do the trick. It has to be hard lockdown.
Yeah, and to be honest, Doom won't even do the trick as long as Lycan gets off his transformation with his ultimate. Doom doesn't affect him all that much. It maybe limits some of his sustain. He can't get that lifesteal from the Vlads that he normally goes for. But we'll see what they want to do. Or he couldn't use his Necro book if he gets doomed, and he hasn't used it, so... Obviously, a pretty popular item for Lycan. The Crystal Maiden, though, gets picked up here from Osiris, so they're ready to at least kill the jungle very quickly, maybe run some early ganks. Doom, ambiguous, he can go off lane, he could go middle, he could safe lane, he could jungle, but with Invoker, you expect to see that in the mid lane more often than not, so we'll see.
And Frostbite, of course, pretty good anti-Lycan tech. You can lock the actual Lycan down with the Frostbite. He can't just run away like he can with any sort of slow, like the Crystal Nova. So I think Sam's a pretty strong pickup here, but I do still worry a little bit about the push potential. A team that has both Nature's Prophet and Lycanthrope can basically just like use their other three heroes to maybe start even like a 3v5, auto kill them, but in the meantime you just get double raxed by Lycan Fury.
Yeah, and it should be noted that when you have all of these minions on the field, they will be getting 5, 10, 15, and eventually 20 damage from a Howl, so it makes those treants, those Necro units, those familiars even stronger.
Right.
So that's going to be a really strong push.
What if they'll take Drow Ranger, if you're thinking the Visage Familiars to have another 3 another pushing force. Drow's pretty
Then
good against
towers.
Invoker with the silence, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, definitely with the way Gust works now, so long range, it can really catch you off guard. I see a lot of teams aren't really ready for it, just haven't experimented or played against it enough.
Radiant team, pick.
Alright, so continuing with a little bit of a KG draft, you're not quite sure whether the Alchemist is going to be used as a mid. Looks maybe like mid to me. Or a support, which is the other option. Slark, meanwhile, the pickup for Osiris Gaming.
Yeah, no, Slark could be really good, though, because if you get pounced on, Lycan cannot run away from that leash, no matter how fast he is. Slark is likely going to get a bash during this game. So I think it's a good pickup. Also, a fairly versatile laner. It could offlane or duo offlane, safe lane. Once he's level 6, he's just going to continue to split push the map very, very effectively and prove to be a pretty hard hero to gank up. But Alchemist may be going for a Blink Dagger if he's going to support. If he's mid, expect him to pick up a mechanism. We're going to have to wait to see, but Alchemist Visage is a pretty old school supporting combo.
Yeah, it could be useful. I agree with you. I like the Slark pickup. The Pounce, of course, as you said. We already talked about the Frostbite against Lycan, and of course you mentioned the Pounce leash to keep Lycan in place if he's split pushing. And Dark Pact, pretty good tool to clear out like a wave of Treants or something like that. So I think Slark overall a pretty solid pickup for Osiris Gaming here. We're starting to see their lanes take shape somewhat.
Dire team, pick.
Yeah, and because of all the minions that are going to be on the field in the form of Treants, Necrobooks, they're going to go ahead and take out the Earthshaker, because when you've got so many things pushing into a tower, making it a little hard to maybe even walk for both teams, you're going to get clustered or clumped up a little bit. Earthshaker can punish that. So they take him out. Osiris, they ban out that Templar.
Well, no, actually Death Prophet would be tough because they can't.
Yes.
Doom is too good against Death Prophet. So they go for Rasta for even more push. Mirana, obviously, a pretty good, solid all-around hero. It's almost never like, oh, they picked Mirana, what a bad pick. Like, the hero is always pretty effective. This is one of the less effective. Like, there's really big cleavages of thought about like whether support Mirana is any good. Like, a lot of people think it's not. Obviously, people like Fluff and Stuff disagree and run it quite often. So we'll have to see how it goes here, because this has got to be a support Mirana, basically.
Yeah, there's way too much farm to go around right now with Guanzo on the Slark, Pat on the Doom, and Osiris himself on that Invoker. So, yeah, it is going to be a support. It's a good lockdown, though. I mean, Frostbite into an arrow of 5 seconds can just shut down Bloody Nine's Lycan, and I'm excited again to see a Shadow Shaman played so beautifully by Ush in that last series of Snob plus 4 going up against, what was it, Revenge. So, another Shadow Shaman.
Yeah, it's... We saw it win a game, basically. I mean, the power of the lockdown when you get a fast blink dagger is tremendous. I mean, it's no worse than Batrider, even better than Batrider in some ways, of taking, as long as the rest of your team is ready to follow you, rather than you dragging it back to them, the Shadow Shaman is able to lock down for an insanely amount of time. And we just saw free towers all the time when they would plant the wards down and be like, well, I don't really want to go fight that, so here, go ahead and take the tower. So in this case, of course, it is going to more likely be... Yeah, it is going to be a support rather than a mid Shadow Shaman, it looks like.
Yeah, still strong. We saw how powerful those disables can be, the Hex as well as the Shackles. Probably going to put 1 point in each, and even as a support, you got to be expecting him to put some more points into that Ether Shock, and could be effective with roaming, still along with Nayrok. As we'll introduce the teams, I guess I'll start with Dignotoss. We've got Derp, I think a pretty well-known player. He will be supporting on the Shadow Shaman. Nayrok Dota. Follow this guy on Twitter, playing the Visage. His name spelled backwards is Korean. Random fact about him. Bloody Nine is going to be here, playing the carry role on the Lycan. Enso, haven't seen him in the game for a while, was playing for Stay Free. Very fun to watch, and of course their mid-player, and it's going to be Rising from Ashes. I'm not sure who that is, but he's going to be playing the Nature's Prophet. Yeah, that's definitely not a real name.
Let's stalk him a little bit.
All right, you stalk him. I'll go over Osiris'
Right,
lineup here on the Radiant. We've got Mirana. It's going to be played by Classic. Anyone that's tuned in here at the Neo Dota to watch some NEL, definitely know this guy. It's going to be Wily's on the Crystal Maiden. Going to be supporting up Slark. That's Guanzo. So they're taking this aggressive tri-lane. I like it. Osiris playing the Invoker in the mid lane, and we've got Pat Soul going to be playing the Doombringer in the solo safe.
I have no insight. The
Vickerman failed to gather
the
intel.
avatar looks so familiar. Like, I know who this is, but whatever. Doesn't matter. I'm a big Nayrok fan, too. I'm looking for big plays from this position.
Oh, big arrow onto Derp. Not a big stun as they fight for the warding, and it will be Derped up able to take out the sentry.
Oh, it's Risk. It's Risk.
Oh, it's Risk. I met this guy. We met this guy.
We met this guy. His team... Did they win? They won, dude.
Yeah.
Montreal.
Risk played out of his mind at LAN ETS in Montreal.
Yeah, no, solid. It's a pretty strong team, this Dignotoss lineup. That's a team that has kept the same name, but it's like a lot of different people go in and out. But the lineup they have here is pretty sick. I can definitely see how they could have beaten Nihug. But this 3v3 is very intriguing to me. I mean, it really comes down to how many Mirana arrows you're going to land and how much your team is able to follow up on that. Because so far, actually, Lycan with 0 last hits so far, so they're doing quite well. Misses a tower last hit. He's going to get this one, so... That's his first last hit at 1.5 minutes.
Yeah, it didn't look like he wanted to use Howl. I mean, using Howl, even at level 1, the 20 damage makes it pretty easy to last it under the tower. So if he needs to utilize that, he very well can. But meanwhile, in the bot lane, we've got Pat Soul. I think Nature's Prophet, and you're going to throw the Sprout, can edge him out of this lane, but when you have Devour, it doesn't really matter if you're not getting as much CS, because you can easily stay, you know, toe for toe in terms of net worth.
Yeah. And they are giving Enzo a pretty good time mid. It's not a problematic lane at all for Alchemist. Once he gets level 6, there's not a lot of ways for Invoker to easily kill him without a gank. So he should be fine against Osiris. He should be able to go last hits. In fact, he has 12 already. So Enzo having a good time. We'll see how he's able to parlay that into... I agree with you. Fast mech seems like probably the best way to go for him.
Yeah, that's what most of the mid-alchemists have been doing. It's just very, very stable, and you can just start fighting even earlier. It gives you nice armor, which he doesn't have too much. He's trying to channel up.
CM's dead.
Oh, this cold snap. He does finally get it off, as CM looks to have died to a neutral in the top lane, but mid lane Enso with a DD popped will back off of being so aggressive. CM TPs to the top lane again.
They
So
really
no
thought
first
that
blood
they'd
yet.
get. Yeah, I'm sure they thought. I thought that they would get that first blood, but instead of Shockwave from the Satyr Tormentor. Actually,
Now they're going to turn around. Nayrok, their focus. The arrow lands. It's the first blood over to Classic on the Mirana. So nicely done.
Yikes. Yeah, and they really, like, they wouldn't care about that if they had already picked up the first blood, but they didn't. As you pointed out, they got it stolen by the neutral creep. So instead, it's the first blood for Osiris, which they really need to justify this aggressive tri-lane.
Yeah, I'm assuming it happened over near this big ancient stack. I was actually in the mid lane watching Enso be a little aggressive. So
oh, yeah. So they had the full pull, and then there was a arrow that landed on Lycan, so he wasn't hitting the CM. And everybody else was hitting the CM, but then you, of course, had the Satyr Ball and just killed her.
This, yeah, the Hadoken, it will
Hadoken,
get you
yeah.
all the time. If we haven't seen enough of the Dota Cinema fails of the week with the Satyr
I like
Blast.
the one where they killed, like, the Ursus.
Like a triple kill or whatever. It's so funny. But yeah, so how's the mid lane going? We see Enso farming very, very well, doing what Alchemist does, do better in the mid lane than most people would ever expect. 21-4, as Osiris sits at 14-4. He is going Quas Exhort, so I like this when you go aggressive tri-lane and you've got the lockdown of a CM and of course the arrow. Just another big damage spell from the Sunstrike.
Yeah, I think that's solid if they can get kills off of that. Other than that, though, I mean, it doesn't have the power of the... Oh, Enzo actually might go down. He's very low. He's barely manages to escape. The Invoker gets scared that there's going to be a Nature's Prophet TP. In fact, Nature's Prophet spoofed the TP just to make him a little nervous.
Yeah, I spoofed it a couple times there. We saw the Howl coming out maybe a second too late. Could have been the death of Enso. I'm not sure if Bloody Nine had it on cooldown already or maybe just didn't realize it.
Well... He's on the same team, right? Like, Hal wouldn't help him survive.
Oh, right. I just heard Howl at the same time as that gank, so there you go. Keeping me in line. Nature's Prophet. Risk, which we should point out, he never names himself correctly, which is infuriating.
He does like his... he was properly named at the LAN ETS, I think.
No, he was always... I can't remember it, but he was definitely... Maybe he was near the tail end.
I don't remember, dude. You're probably right. He played a good Slark at that tournament.
He did play a good Slark.
He's doing good here. Harassing Patsoul back, actually. He's got him sprouted. This is a lot of damage. Look at how much work Hal does as a spell. It's so insanely powerful.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of teams combining up the Howl with the Chilling Touch from Ancient Apparition to get 70 extra damage at level 1, which is pretty insane, and it only gets worse. I think it tops out at maybe like 150 damage per person.
I actually feel that Lycan is pretty broken, but It's just my take on it. I don't know. I mean, the fact is they've had to bring
Risk.
the Crystal Maiden down, but this does mean that they probably kill Risk.
Yeah, Risk gonna get frostbitten. There it goes. He sprouts himself up, but it's gonna be too late. There's also Scorched Earth as well as Crystal Nova would have maybe been available. The auto attack from Wily's will bring him down. So a nice kill. It's gonna be Osiris, technically 2-0. That's Dignotoss. Did not get credit for that kill.
The flip side, of course, being that they haven't gotten the top tri-lane to work really. They didn't get kills. They got one kill, which is fine, but overall they weren't really able to just punish Lycan that heavily, which is why you see them bringing the Crystal Maiden down. The plus side is that was a lot of time in which Shadow Shaman and Visage weren't really ever able to leave the lane. So you see Nayrok and Derp are pretty underleveled. They're going to try a rotating gank, and if it doesn't work, they're going to be really underleveled.
Yeah. There's the pounce from Guanso onto Bloody 9. It will barely just land. He's going to maybe have to turn this around. Guanso is only level 4 because the tri-lane not going... It's going pretty well, I'd say, but... You know, it's still a tri-lane. It's still a Slark, pretty underleveled because of sharing that XP. And we see a smoke rotation here from Derp and Nayrok. They want to kill Osiris. They realize he has no escape, no points in Wax, and I think they may be able to get him here.
Yeah, I mean... I think, well, they're very deep for it, so either they can maybe try to go for the courier. Yeah. It's got most of a mech on it.
I wonder if they will catch vision of it. It's going right by them. It's actually...
No way, it's nighttime. It's tough to see.
Heading to the bottom lane to give Doom quite a bit of his mechanism. But in the middle lane, Osiris now in a lot of trouble. TP responding quickly. That was a little awkward of a shackles onto the Forged Spirit, but it's not going to matter if they can get one more attack here onto Classic. Will they be able to? The arrow goes out. She's going to die in the Acid Spray, though. She does go down. Visage finally takes a fall. Wily's did TP in there on the Crystal Maiden to get that. Now Risk can continue to chase Enso, stunning up himself. No target there. Nature's Prophet still hot on the chase. I think he's going to back off, so this will be Crystal Maiden living, and Dignotoss picking up 2 kills there.
Yeah, not the world's greatest Nature's Prophet port from Risk there. He could have been positioned a little bit better, but they do get the Mirana, they get the Invoker, which is really what they wanted from that rotation. I think they lose 1, but 2-for-1 trade is something they'll be overall, I would say, fairly happy with. And Doom is very close to, actually, one more last hit will give him his mechanism, so his mech is a decent, yeah, a lot faster than Alchemist. He's just finishing the Buckler.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you're maxing out this Devour.
Indeed.
3 points in that, and smartly he goes into the jungle, picks up that ice armor, so that diminishes some of the effects that the poke from Nature's Prophet has in conjunction with the Howl, so that's a pretty smart play here by Pat Soul. That mechanism going to be a big deal. Doom's online, he's level 8, so we'll see when he wants to get involved with the rest of his team. Yeah,
I mean... He has died once, obviously, from that big gank into the mid, but if I'm Osiris, I think I at least wait for my Phase Boots 4 staff before I even really consider rotating. That's I mean, the Exort Invoker really has that luxury, right? Like, he can participate without necessarily leaving his lane until he's ready.
Yeah, it's very nice. So far, he has died once, though, to that gank that we just saw in the mid lane. The mech comes out. It's just finished. As looking up top, an interesting item choice. Bloody 9 goes for Tranquil Boots, and now he's going to go ahead and build into the Vlads. Maybe he didn't mean to make those, I don't know.
Yeah.
But you'd have to buy another Ring of Protection, so he must have intended that.
I think he probably... Well, good question. I don't know. Maybe he did accidentally make the Tranks. But, I don't know. Tranks aren't that trash.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. You get that nice... you have max move speed in your ultimate anyways, and then the boots just provide sustain in the lane and more armor. So actually, when you think about it, they seem like really good boots for Lycan.
They're like, okay. I like them on Axe. Some people really hate them on Axe. I actually think they're pretty solid, though.
For me, it's pretty much just Lich and Crystal Maiden boots. But yeah, Axe is pretty good. Just got to make sure to drop them when you're...
Yeah, you just got to micro, yeah.
Pro tips there. That's actually from Vikramond. I stole that knowledge from him.
It's legit. I mean, the fact is, I think Dignotoss are in pretty good shape even down a kill, because I still don't see Osiris being able to stop the mid-game push unless they do really well. And also, they're on Dire. They've got an Alchemist to reduce armor wards if they really want. Roshan's going to be the easiest thing in the world for them to take, and Osiris doesn't really have amazing Roshan response or anything. They can scout it with Mirana Arrow, but that's about it.
Yeah. And later on in this game, they do have the Treants, they do have the Familiar, so they can always scout, and they're on the Dire side. They'll know exactly when the Roshan comes up, if they happen to kill it once. So they're always going to have sort of that double advantage when it comes to going for Rosh. But Moonlight Shadows, you can jump in, you can contest. Maybe a couple more levels here on Invoker, he'll be able to throw out some Tornadoes to scout it as well.
Yeah, Risk getting really scared there, spreads himself up thinking there's a big gank coming in. There wasn't, but there are 3 people in the general vicinity. Crystal Maiden's getting levels in the jungle. Mirana's here, classic, with a cool little split build so far. Only level 5 on the Mirana, so I don't know. We'll have to see. It's all arrow-based for support Mirana. You either do land arrows and you're a contributor, or you don't and you're useless.
Pretty much, because you really just don't get the farm to get your attacks up, and you don't get the levels to get your Starstorm maxed up, or you can just jump in and fight. Nice arrow, though, coming out. Even better dodge there from Risk. Sees it from downtown. Good ward here, scouting it out for him as well.
Yeah. Mainly, both teams really want their support levels. Mirana needs levels to do anything other than arrow, and still, it's not that impressive. And then, of course, Visage and Shadow Shaman both really, really love to get as many levels as possible. So.
Yeah, and we should note, despite, the normal greedy heroes, I guess the usual suspects of Midas being Doom, Nature's Prophet, and Alchemist, not a single person has decided to go for one this game.
I don't know, if you're Radiant, getting Midas is pretty, you'd have to be, the confidence you'd need to go Midas is you're just gonna get pushed in, right? There's no way you can afford to go Midas if the other team is even awake, And for Dire, I don't know. They could justify Midas on Nature's Prophet, maybe, but...
Oh, yeah, I expect Nature's Prophet to go for one still in this bottom lane. But he's not. He's going for an Orchid. He gets doomed up. He could get denied here from his teammates. It looks like that's probably what's going to go happen. Nayrok will deny him, and it's going to allow Patsol to TP out. But other than the top lane, we do see the Lycan going to be taken down.
Yeah, so 2 kills. Even though it is a deny, it's a lot of time that Nature's Prophet isn't farming for that Orchid Malevolence, and Lycan's pretty helpless if he's caught out solo by a bunch of heroes, especially because, he used ultimate, but there's that pounce, there's frostbite, there's arrow. All that stuff is very good against... You don't care about slows, but all that stuff trumps you.
Shadow Shaman in a lot of trouble, pouncing forward as Guanzo to catch up to this, and will they give him the kill? Yeah, Dark Pack is going to get him out of the Hex, as well as pick up the kill on the Shadow Shaman. So 6-3, but really 6-2 here, so Osiris doing very, very well at 13 minutes. It's still Enso on this Alchemist for Dignotoss leading the net worth, but Doom very, very close behind, and they are going to take this top tier 1 tower, so probably going to push him ahead.
They'll definitely take the tower. Dignotoss wants to at least trade for the tier 1 bottom. I think if they get the trade, they use Howl for it as well. They're going to Howl that. If they can take Rosh and the tower, it's probably a good exchange. They can't take the tower. Oh, Nayrok getting caught up by Pounce, but I think he'll TP away. He cancels it. Oh my god, Slark. Almost one shot there.
And now that's the Shadow Dance really, really paying off. Sunstrike will land. It takes out the Visage. But meanwhile, on the other side of things, it's Enso with the armor reduction, like you said, taking that easy Roshan. And they're going to get it. So, trades both ways. They don't get a tower. They're not really taking structural objectives, but they do get a big objective in taking that Roshan.
Yeah, losing the Visage, using the wards on nothing, it's not actually that fantastic of a trade, but... It's worth something in terms of Lycan's had a kind of a slow start, and that'll at least give him some XP. Shared with Alchemist. I wish Alchemist had actually left the pit. Meanwhile, Alk in trouble.
Yeah, Alk's in a lot of trouble. The pounce forward, Chemical Rage showing its strength. It's keeping him alive, but is it going to be enough? It's not going to be. It looks like some Forge Spirits attacks, and this is again showing the power of Quastic Sword. It's still very, very strong, with so much damage coming out from those Forge Spirits and their armor reduction.
Yeah, this is Osiris playing exactly correctly as they have to, is to take the fight to Dignotoss, really pressure them heavily, use your pick-off capacity with heroes like Slark, Mirana, Crystal Maiden to just constantly kill people off, and when they only have 3 people alive at any given time, you're not really fearing their push too much. In addition, rather than go for Force Staff, Invoker is actually building into a quick Necro 3. I like this too, because what it means is that they have a coherent pushing idea as well. They can push very heavily with a Doom mechanism and the Invoker Necro, and that maybe will let them threaten high ground and not just be pushed apart by Dignotoss too early.
Yeah, this takes us back to the earlier point.
Oh no, Bloody Nine is going to die again.
Oh, yeah, up in the top lane. I saw Slark giving him a lot of difficulties, but that's the Aegis. They should be able to get him again. They did not use the arrow. Crystal Maiden here now. Doom as well. Everybody. The transformation goes off, but he's going to be pounced up. Doom goes off, and they get him. It's going to be Patsol picking up that kill. So Bloody Nine goes down once more. He's working towards his Necro book as well.
Yeah, but that's. I mean, he's gonna be. I wonder if Necro's even.
Well, yeah, there's already a Necro too on Invoker here, Osiris, so this
I'm just
Lycan we
thinking
can see
maybe
he's
BKB.
hurting.
Like, I don't know. BKBs could be really good here.
They'd like to be stringing another gank together off of just taking out Bloody Nine. Derp Derp in the jungle in a lot of trouble, and he doesn't really know it. There's the leap forward. Oh
Look
my
at that burst.
god.
It's incredible.
There's a lot of burst. Yeah. He is very squishy, though, to be a little fair,
They
I
take a
guess.
tower too. I mean, this is Cyrus again. This is so smart. They know that mid to late game the push is too scary. So Enzo's gonna get caught out too. He's dead. Nice stun.
Gets off a big stun, but it's still not going to be enough, and losing another hero. That's 3 pickoffs in a row right now for Osiris, and look at this, they're still maintaining this bottom tier 1 tower. Nature's Prophet not able to push it down. Osiris hasn't even lost 1 tower versus a lineup that we can see so scary. At this point, you can expect all your outer towers to be down already.
If they do well enough early, but they didn't. I mean, Osiris is really pressuring them very heavily. Here's Bloody Nine trying to fight Classic. Nice.
Classic, that Soul Assumption should do it. No, but the mech up. Classic will live. Now the minions trying to chase here the Lycan Wolves as well as the Familiars, but it will back off.
Arrow.
Ooh,
Will they try to turn around with him?
Sunstrike.
Sunstrike.
Oh man, that brings him down so low.
Oh my god, the Forge Spirits were 1 hit away from killing him.
Yeah, he survives with 15 HP. Make it, 15. And Slark at the bottom lane now starting to terrorize. This is the Shadow Dance being used. I don't know if he's got, does not have the damage to kill Enzo, but Classic has a double damage, so scratch that. There is a stun. He will use it up on Guanzo. Classic trying to do what he can, taking a lot of damage here, and he's going to leap away the Familiars and the Acid Spray. Not going to mix together very well for Classic. And in mid lane, we got more action. Towers finally being pushed down by Dignotoss. Patsol going to turn it around. Slug Strike going to land. Damage, though, going to be split up quite a bit. Derp Derp does get down the wards, but it's not going to be used for pushing.
Oh, he moved the Lycan Wolves. It stopped the. They were body blocking Doom. They could have killed Doom.
Maybe. I mean, that's another mech charge being used up. He's got already 9 armor, and that's without ice armor. So make that more.
Another great fight for Osiris. They get a tower deny in the mid. They kill off the Shadow Shaman again. Yes, now they lost 2 towers, so you are seeing a little bit of that push coming into play, but Slark is 1-0-7, has 2.9k gold. You see Crystal Maiden feeling, at this point, comfortable enough that they've hit it off.
Oh, there's the Midas.
Yeah, that she actually does pick up the Midas.
Nice. I actually got to see in Dream League, Misery, I guess, kind of invented all of this, all the Crystal Maiden Midas shenanigans months and months ago. He picked it up recently in Dream League. It was funny.
Callbacks. Invoker finishing 4-staff post.
Big 3 items.
Yeah,
Shadowblade comes out for the Slark. That's his choice, and the Necro. Yeah.
I just think Dignotoss, are not getting everything they wanted out of this so far. Enzo's farming Ancients, so I think we're going to see Alchemist move towards an Assault Cuirass, which gives them 3 people that can push very well. Also gives them a little bit of armor, obviously, to survive things like Slark, Doom hitting on them. And even Forge Spirits.
Okay, big item timings for Dignotoss. They get their Necro book up, and they're going to get the Orchid here for Risk on the Nature's Prophet. But are they going to be able to do anything with it? Because they're starting to get picked off now on the mid lane. Bloody Nine's going to go down once again. He looks completely helpless.
No mech?
Yeah, the mech doesn't come out for Menso. He was trying to line up the stun on Osiris, and maybe a bit of a misplay, pouncing out of the trees. Guanzo now with a double kill, 3-0 and 7, and Osiris is a pretty one-sided game for them.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal was. The mech was really late. He used it, but it was after the Lycan died. I don't know if he's lagging or what. That was weird. Then Nature's Prophet, you have Orchid, but he just dies almost instantaneously.
He does, and now they're going to go on to Derp Derp. Derp Derp has no chance. Sunstrike isn't going to be needed. It gets him. Now Enzo throws off another stun. Wily's channeling up here, going to be canceled out by the drop. Arrow lands onto Enzo, so now he's not going to be able to help out. As it looks like that TP to the tier 2 mid was canceled, so...
And Doom's coming back. He has that mechanism charge. They're all only about 1 mechanism off from full HP, so there's no reason to stop this push, I feel. Yeah, they won't.
And Chemical Rage runs out. This is a very good opportunity to kill Enzo. We do have most people respawning. Guanzo, though, with the Shadowblade initiation, going to jump right onto him. The stun goes off. Guanzo going to Dark Pact out of it. It looked like he got stunned as well. Now the Shadow Dance goes. They will kill the Enzo. Doom off onto Derp Derp. The Shadow Shaman is going to fall quickly. Now Bloody Nine trying to fight. Why is he not transformed yet? I guess he doesn't want to commit to it too much. And this is going to be just Crystal Maiden dying. The Meteor, the Meatball, gets dropped to facilitate their escape, and so far it's still sticking around.
Oh, no, Lycan.
And there's Bloody Nine, gets that max move speed, and will actually dodge the pounce. Orchid goes out onto Classic, and I think with that Sprout, well, this was a little awkward. They will be able to get him, maybe, Force Staff, there is no leap. Keep that in mind. Now the Mechanism goes out by Patsol, keeping him alive. And are they finally going to back off, or are they just going to post up?
Nah. Backs off. What is this? This is Dota. Back off. Never back off. Doom's gonna get his AC faster than Alk. Oh, Alk is actually going for, it looks like a halberd.
Well, Crystal Maiden deals with the Nature's Prophet in the bot lane, and we'll even get a deny on the tower. Wiley's is level 11, by the way, on a CM at only 20 minutes, so doing very, very well compared to the supports. Shadow Sailorman's at 7, Nayrok's at level 9.
Yeah, and Nayrok's been playing pretty solid, I feel. But still, the Visage just, there's not enough to key off of. Not enough damage is being dealt for the Soul Assumption to even matter. Like, nobody's just doing anything. Everybody's just dying very quickly. The heroes are getting picked apart by the huge amount of burst damage from Osiris' team.
Yeah, indeed, there is quite a bit. And we can see another pick off here, the Shadow Blade Strike to start. Enso still a hard kill. I mean, he's farming well. It was a mid-alchemist. Chemical Rage is pretty insane, especially when it's rank 2. So Guanso, it just pushes him off the lane.
S&Y? Okay.
Limiting some of the farm. Ooh, S&Y for who?
Alchemist, I guess. Okay. Alright.
Interesting. I mean, move speed is nice, but
yeah,
I think the AC that you talked about
happens.
Yeah, and Chemical Rage is actually running out. It just runs out now. He will get doomed up, and he gets picked off.
That's Visage, guaranteed dead.
Yeah, Nayrok is there as well. It's trying to help out, ends up just feeding himself over as well. It could be Risk. It could be having the same fate. Guanso so fast with that Shadow Blade. He's at max move speed, and boom! Risk is going to go down as well. Guanso now unstoppable, 6-0 and 7. This guy's been playing out of his mind.
Yeah, Dignotoss are getting pretty embarrassed here by Osiris. Just can't survive the damage. Can't get any purchase on the map. They have almost no map control. The vision is superior for Osiris. They're playing properly with the lead. They lose their courier, I guess. But
Terp dies at his tier 3 tower, essentially. And now they're going to look to do the same thing to Bloody Nine, another pounce. Bloody Nine can't get away. It's a double kill. Guanso's 8-0 and 7. They call the GG. Fortunately enough for Dignotoss, this is the first BO3 as we're in the semifinals, so they can make up for it, take it to a 3-game series. But Osiris, man, these guys came to play.
They did come to play, and honestly, they to the push-based lineup properly. They saw Nature's Prophet first. They were like, oh, they're probably going to split push us, so let's get heroes like Slark that have quick wave clear. And then Mirana too, and then they see the Lycan. They're like, oh, they're doubling down on push. We need single target disable. We already have Doom, and we're gonna add a Crystal Maiden, Slark, and Mirana onto that. So they actually have one of the few lineups that has a lot of anti-Lycan tools. As a consequence, I think Lycan going for the Necro is a mistake. He maybe should have rushed BKB, because he didn't do anything all game. Nothing against Bloody Nine, but he did nothing, right? Like, he farmed a few creeps. I don't think he got any towers. Like, one tower that he went for was denied, and he got no kills or assists.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that their pushing strategy was pretty much foiled from the start, so at that point, it's more likely just to try to win the team fights with that BKB, and then just take it to late game, because at the end of the day, you've got a Lycan, a Nature's Prophet, and an Alchemist. Your late game is strong, but they don't get there. Dominant performance from Osiris, and we'll be back here, game number 2 in a moment. But before you go, make sure to check out, neodota.com or nadota.com, helping us host the tournament, dotatrash.com/destruction, and you can follow both Vic and I on Twitter, at HeliUmbrella, at VicRomond.
Oh yeah.
We'll be back momentarily.